an angry little elf. Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the out. I'm f***ing him up, Burial. I'm f***ing him up. He hits like a It's personal now. It's personal now. He must die.
I didn't really feel it, to be honest. Quite literally didn't really feel it.
You just got slapped in the face by Mike Tyson before your fight. How'd that feel?
It's personal now. I respect it. More sales for the fight, more hype. I love it. This is the Mike Tyson I wanted the whole entire time. So get him angry. Let's bring out the badass because he's going to sleep.
Yo, you're jazzed right now.
I love it. I love this shit. This is. I mean, I was asking for it all week. He brought the promotion, so I got what I wanted, and it was a slap to the face. Respect. He made a lot of people happy with that.
It was good while it lasted for Jake.
And what would you lose if you lose this fight? Thank you.
I'm not gonna lose.
But you say that in the last minute of the second.
I am not gonna lose. Did you hear what I said?
Thank you.
Diamond spiked ear covers right there.
All right. Let me turn my attention to the two women.
Mike Tyson was a man of a few words during the final press conference ahead of the fight with Jake Paul. Tyson doesn't have a lot to lose if he loses his fight, but when asked about it, he got pretty mad at the reporter and snapped. Just one day before the big fight, the final press conference and face-off took place with Tyson, Paul, and all the fighters on the undercard.
This is Dallas, Texas. The AT&T Stadium will play host to the biggest...
Tyson looked like he was completely locked in for the fight and barely made any noise compared to the last face-off. Where he shoved Jake and seemed hyped up. Jake didn't seem too impressed with Tyson's silence since both fighters have constantly been sharing threats online.
Online saying you're gonna kill me and it just... Nothing in person. I don't know. It's pretty boring.
Do you think these are mind games?
Tyson kicked off the conference by saying that he's back to his old fighting self. Even though he was serious throughout the conference, he shared that he's ready for Friday night.
Yeah.
You're the star.
I'm just happy to be here. I love you too. Thank you.
The comments under the conference were flooded with the power of Tyson's deafening silence throughout most of it, but Jake seemed unmoved as he said.
Yeah, it's cute, you know, I fear no man, so I want him to be that old savage Mike. He says he's gonna kill me. Is that what you're gonna do, Mike? Because I'm ready. I want that killer. I want the hardest match possible Friday night, and I want there to be no excuses from everyone at home when I knock him out. So
since there are critics either calling this fight rigged or unfair, Jake's reputation has taken a hit as he was booed pretty often during the conference.
All right. I do believe that is accurate. And what is...
He wants Tyson to bring his A game so he can prove himself in the ring. Just a while back, when Tyson watched Jake's fight with Mike Perry, he made a vicious and cold comment towards Jake.
There's a fundamental difference between me and Jake. He's a manufactured killer. Television and paper made him a killer. He's manufactured. I'm a natural-born killer. That's the difference.
During the conference, Tyson confidently said that he stands by this statement.
That's what everyone who grew up watching you remembers. Can you expand on that? Why is he manufactured and why are you for real?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you can...
And Jake repeated his nuke theory that the most powerful weapons are the manufactured ones. In almost every conference, Jake has shown that he's serious about this fight. But in the true problem child spirit, he also pulls off a humorous or childish move. This time, it was his diamond spiky ear cover.
Over there, Jake, if I could just ask that.
I'm not getting my shit bit off on Friday night, so I got my diamond spiked ear covers right there.
All right. Let me turn my attention to the two women competing in the...
Mike Tyson was probably more problematic than Jake during his time despite being a great boxer. In his rematch with Evander Holyfield, Tyson bit off a part of his ear and was disqualified, which is why Jake's using protection this time around. Most professional fights in the boxing world have a maximum of 12 rounds, each lasting for 3 minutes. Tyson versus Paul is for 8 rounds, with each being of only 2 minutes. Jake doesn't even think that this fight will go on for the entire 16 minutes. In fact, he thinks that this fight going to a a decision is impossible. It can only end in one way according to him, and that's a knockout.
Someone's getting put to sleep. It's going to be a war, and we're both heavy hitters. It's not going the full 16 minutes.
Question for Mike Tyson.
Before the conference could be continued, Tony Bello showed up as a heckler. With a cheap speaker phone, took it upon himself to stand and throw countless insults at Jake.
No, wait, go back to Andreas. Go back to Andreas. Is that Tony Bellew? That looks like Tony Bellew. It does? Is that Tony Bellew?
If it's a Jake Paul fight, some crazy things are bound to happen. Tyson explained why he's no longer trash-talking or giving his remarks about the fight. While he is locked in, it looks like he's one of those who let their actions speak louder than their words. A media person asked how Tyson feels about his comeback into a professional fight after 20 years. The veteran said,
Fight, I've said everything I had to say. There's nothing else to say. I'm just looking forward to fighting.
Furthermore, when one of the reporters asked for the fighters to share a positive comment about each other, the silence from Tyson's side was deafening, to say the least.
Well,
I'm getting booed?
Anything come to mind, Jake?
Well, I think he's going to look good in the picture when he's on the canvas and I'm standing over him.
And of course, Jake referred to knocking Tyson out and got booed again. Jake has constantly been ridiculed these last couple of years for his choice of fighters. He has fought 11 fights so far and won 10 of them. Most fighters' first few fights aren't noticed or followed. But since Jake is already popular in the entertainment world, all his fights are under a microscope. Many call him out for not fighting legitimate professional contenders and instead fighting old or retired fighters. An example would be of Dana White, the head of UFC.
Do boxing. Why not fight guys that actually box for a living?
100%. Fight guys that box for a living and guys that are your age. How about that?
Jake responded to this criticism in the conference, saying that he's in the spotlight, but remains confident in his decisions and is aiming for the world champion title. He's even publicly reached out to Canelo Alvarez for his next fight.
And I am to be highly criticized. That just means I'm doing something right. And no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up.
Another moment from the conference was when Jake evaded a similar question about his choice of opponents. Since Jake boasts his growth as a boxer, many are left wondering when he will pick a fighter that matches his age and skill level in the professional boxing world. Jake responded pretty pissed off at the reporter.
Dumbass from the other venue asked that same dumbass question.
And you didn't answer.
And you're sitting here disrespecting Mike Tyson to his face once again.
I asked you a question.
Do you not think that he's a serious boxer? He walks away.
All right, back to...
Towards the end of the conference, all the fighters in the undercard gave their prediction for the Tyson vs. Paul fight. 9 of them voted for Tyson, with only 3 voting for Jake to win. This pissed him off, and he decided to get up and asked every one of them to bet him on it if they believed in Tyson.
How much you want to lose? $1 million, deal. We got 1 million here, 1 million here. Come on, you guys want to put your money where your mouth is. How much money? Exactly. How much money? Exactly. How much money? A ring, deal. Let's go. I'm following up on all this. $1 million? $1 million? $20 right here. That's what I thought.
Stitch Duran, an American cutman, has known Tyson since his prime days. He has seen the legendary boxer spar, train, and fight for a long time. Duran shared that he was extremely surprised to see Tyson spar for the Jake Paul fight.
It's like coming back home, but this fight's a little bit bigger than the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight. It's kind of nice. I'm working with Mike, so don't get no better than that, bro.
Yeah. What do you've been in Mike's camp? I've seen you out there.
Tyson himself shared that he can't be compared with other fighters his age because he's been training his whole life and is legitimately on a different level.
You can't compare me with other people my age because other people at my age haven't been training as long as me, consistent as me, and I'm just a different species of human being.
Those who predicted Jake as a winner say that it's possible after a couple of rounds when Tyson gets tired. But Duran shut that idea down by saying that Tyson looked active and strong throughout all 8 rounds in sparring.
He's been sparring 8 rounds, he said.
Yeah. And he looks tremendous, man. I'm telling you, it blows my mind. And, just to see him and to see the hit intensity that he has, he hasn't lost much, bro.
Duran didn't forget about Jake's past as a wrestler and shared that both fighters are coming in hot and strong.
Worst case, he's an athlete. He's a wrestler turned boxer, so he knows that intensity. Whether he gets a little intimidated with Mike in the ring, that's the telling sign. That's the young lion with the old lion.
It will be daunting for Jake to share the ring with a fighter double his age and experience. Tyson is seen as one of the greatest boxers in history, which is why many predict that he'll walk through Jake without losing a sweat. But after the open workout, some were quick to change their mind about Tyson winning, one of them being Tony Jeffries, who is a former British professional boxer.
When I seen the open workout that they've just done yesterday, I seen Mike Tyson didn't look very good at all.
When viewing the training videos uploaded prior to the open workout, Tyson seemed fast and powerful, but the open workout was the exact opposite.
Oh my God, this guy should not be in there. Mike couldn't gauge the distance with his trainer on the mitts. He was coming too close. The punches were missing. The mitt are not hitting it accurately enough.
Jeffries saw that the punches weren't accurate or quick as they were in the edited videos of his workouts.
Again, and he threw the punches were missing the mitts. The accuracy was all over the place, and then he would stop. And I'm like, oh my God.
What worried Jeffries more was the press conference where Tyson did not seem present or aware of what was happening.
Very happy.
All right. Let us go to the media. I do believe there is some media here. We'll go to my man, Andreas Hale.
Jeffries referred to this concern for Tyson now more than ever.
The press conference that's just happened, and Mike didn't seem to know where he was.
He saw Tyson's silence and lack of responses from the lens of his age.
He seemed like a 58-year-old, I hate to say it, punch-drunk fighter that didn't know where he was, and he wasn't answering questions. He wasn't being responsive. He wasn't even listening. He was on stage and they were asking him a question and he was just quiet and sat there like this.
Billy Joe Saunders, a professional boxer, shared his opinion about the Tyson versus Paul fight, sharing that the age gap isn't a healthy one and only money could have enticed Tyson to fight again.
Got to be money to entice Mike Tyson back in the ring, and I just think it's a sad time for boxing when stuff like this happens.
According to him, a man of his age should be enjoying fights and watching others fight. Saunders doesn't even consider these fights real fights and thinks they're bad for the sport.
They're not proper fights, they're pony, and they're dangerous for the sport. They're bringing our sport into...
He's not even going to watch the fight and considers it entertainment for those interested.
I agree with you there. I'm not going to bother watching it. I think it's going to be sad to watch.
Saunders seems more disappointed in Jake than in Tyson's age, calling it embarrassing for Jake to make an old legend fight with the notion that he's powerful.
It's going to be embarrassing for Jake Paul to even get a win over Tyson. Because, okay, you fight Mike Tyson, why not fight now then, one of the best in the division? Or why not fight Intercontinental Champion at your weight, if you're good enough to fight a...
He brought up the same point as Jeffries regarding Tyson's issues throughout the years, like his drug problems.
Who's had mental problems, who's had, drug problems, who's had every problem you can imagine, and he wants to bring him on stage in front of everyone and beat him up.
Roy Jones Jr. was the last person to get in the ring with Tyson 4 years ago in an exhibition match, which is why he's been approached multiple times to give his opinion on this fight. He shared his thoughts about Tyson to say,
extraordinary for Mike Tyson to be 58 years old and be able to go in and perform, make him get himself in shape, which he has done, and he can perform and make $20 million.
Jones appreciated Jake as well for putting this fight together and garnering a huge audience, saying, "You can't hate on either guys." Spencer Oliver, a former boxer, added his thoughts on the fight, saying that those who weren't around or were too young to witness Tyson's prime are getting the opportunity to see him again in the ring.
People must understand that Mike Tyson is coming back, and for those people that weren't around in that era, that don't remember that era, they have a chance now to see this boxing icon, this legend, redo those ring walks, etc., etc. Forget that they're saying, yeah, but it's not the Mike Tyson involved. Of course it's not. We all get older.
Oliver thinks that Jake's doing good for the boxing world by making it a popular sport. Jake did turn his life around by entering the sport and is a businessman and entertainer, as well as a boxer.
They say that fame can sort of ruin a person, and that's what it seemed to be doing with Jake. He found boxing, has transformed his life, and now he's inspiring new generation, millions of young kids that are coming through to get into sport and stuff like that?
Well, the beautiful
Jones Jr. nodded to Tyson's power in the ring 4 years ago to say that he was in pain for about a week post-fight.
thing went easy on me because I was hurting for about a week, so you caught it easy.
Did you break ribs during that?
Huh?
Did you break ribs in that
I didn't break ribs, but they felt like they were broke for about a week, so I was kind of messed up for about a week.
Jones Jr. then gave his prediction referring to Jake's fight with Tommy Fury to say that if that didn't go so well, this one surely won't.
In my humble opinion, if Jake Paul struggled with Tommy Fury, how in the hell are you going to beat Mike Tyson?
He recalled his fight with Tyson and gave a pretty impressive statement that should be a warning to Jake.
I hate to say, but I thought I had some of the fastest hands ever. You understand me? When I fought him 4 years ago, I still couldn't hardly hit him. I was shocked because of how well his defense is, how good his defense is, how well he protected himself and kept himself out of harm's way. I think I landed one really good hook that I wanted to land, but it was really difficult to land pretty much anything else on it.
Attacking Tyson is a gamble because it leaves an opening that he can penetrate with his powerful punches. And if Jake loses that gamble, he'll be in a lot of pain.
You also have to gamble when you try to land shots on him. And if you gamble with Mike Tyson, if he lands too, you're not going to win that gamble. You understand? So for me, people don't understand.
Eddie Hearn, on the other hand, holds the exact opposite opinion about Tyson. He once called Jake average and explained that for someone who started fighting later in life, that's a huge compliment.
As a professional fighter, someone that's dedicated their life to the sport, from most people from the ages of 7 or 8, you started boxing at 24. You are average in that field. That's an unbelievable achievement.
He thinks that Tyson is spent and barely performed well in his last few professional fights and won't 20 years later. In fact, he is mad that this fight is even taking place considering Tyson's age. Who do you think will win on Friday night? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more.